Hello, welcome back to the Football Terrace. Good morning. Ajax have confirmed that Donny van de Beek will leave Ajax. They have confirmed that he has a transfer agreement with them in place. This is big news for Manchester United, who we know have made inquiries. Of course, big news as well for Real Madrid. We don't cover Real Madrid in this channel, but it is big news for them as well. But this is what Ajax do, like multiple clubs like them. They have these agreements in place. They have to sell, really. It's part of their business model to sell their talent across Europe to make the money. That is their business model. That income they generate through the sale of players is what keeps their club above water, which enables them to continue developing these youngsters. It's pretty much a cycle. We're going to delve into that in a little bit more detail. A lot of people saying, no, nothing's been confirmed. There's actual quotes to this. So there's actual quotes. This is real. This is genuine. We're going to go through it, as I say, in a little bit of detail together. But what I want, first of all, is you to hit the like button, share button, retweet button if you're watching on Twitter. That would be amazing if you could. And as we always speak about on here, what do you make of Donny van de Beek? For me, I think I would welcome him with beyond open arms if it comes to Manchester United. But let's take a quick look here at the actual comments you can see on the screen. He says an agreement has been made. He names a number of players, including Donny van de Beek, but it remains to be seen whether the market is indeed breaking loose. And of course, you may have an agreement to be able to leave, but what that actually means is that a club has to come in and bid. He says it is possible that Van de Beek could have another year at Ajax. It's certainly an option, but slightly different with Tagliafico. He says, but in preparation, I'm going to try Lozano Martinez in that position. He's also played in midfield with us, but he is a defender. So he's gone on to speak about that. He also says in the article, if we read through and go back a little bit, this is the interesting bit for me. And again, it just shuts up so many idiots out there. I want to highlight this little bit here. It says that let's go here and highlight this part, where it says that the transfer market will start in August. The top leagues are now being played out, so the money flows are maintained. And this is very important because we've spoken about this so many times on this channel, how a lot of the big clubs and a lot of fans of Arsenal, a lot of fans that no one's going to spend money, nobody's going to spend big, nothing's going to happen this summer. With all the big leagues being completed, the vast majority of money is going to stay in the game. With massive plans in place to start having fans back in stadiums as early as September, which is when the new season is scheduled to begin. It may actually be October. Very little money is going to be sapped out of football, 20% as an example. That will then be reflected in slightly lower salaries and slightly lower transfer fees. As he said, the market value has been slightly depressed, but not much. It will echo the deflation and the recession within the market. Teams are going to spend money, though. We've already seen that with Chelsea. We've already seen it with Juve as an example. Money will be spent. And, we've been speaking about that the whole time here on this platform. And I know a lot of people, no, I don't think no money's going to be spent. Stop listening to random fans of football clubs. Stop listening even to that of the prescribed sort of journalists of particular clubs who have a agenda. They have an agenda to feed to you the narrative that those clubs want. That's how they get their exclusive interviews. It's why, they're very good journalists. They write good stories, but they're basically mouthpieces for the football club. They're never going to give you true opinions. You just see it. When anything bad happens around the football club, there's a little bit of talk, but it's always quite tempered. And then bang, as soon as the news is good, it's boom, 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 boom. PR, mouthpieces. And that's fine. But clubs are going to spend big. The market isn't going to deflate too much. The money is maintaining itself within football. And fans were always going to let that happen, as far as I'm concerned. So it's big, big news. Van de Beek has a transfer agreement in place. Man United, as we know, are interested in trying to sign him. So let's see what happens within that space. We had a super chat there that came through. Thank you very much from Ginger Fury. He says, would you rather have Van de Beek or Grealish? Who would make the better impact? It's a really good question. I would pick Donny van de Beek. The only advantage Grealish has is, of course, he's played the English game before. So that does give him an advantage in that area. But I would go with Donny van de Beek because one of the main reasons being he is Champions League proven, international proven. So Van de Beek has delivered at the higher levels of the game on a more regular basis for me. The search here says, I hope this is true. It's 100% true. That the quotes I've just given you are from the mouth of the Ajax manager. They have transfer agreements in place with these players. And by the way, clubs like Ajax, clubs like Dortmund, this is their business model. I remember watching an interview with the president of Lyon once upon a time, and his actual words were, we have to sell our best players. It's how we make our money. It's how we keep our heads above water. It's how we make our profits. It's how we stay alive as a football club. What they do, though, is they make sure they get the right amount of money. And all these transfer agreements are kind of written in that way or prescribed in that way where Van der Beek knows he can leave, but Ajax must get the right amount of money in for him. Van der Beek will know, if we don't make the minimum amount of money, I won't be sold because we need to, we need to capitalize on me. I'm an asset to this football club. Me being sold will keep us alive. And if you look at the players at Ajax in recent years, whether it be Blin, of course, De Ligt in the summer, De Jong, you go back a little further, we look at Toby, Vertonghen, and there's multiple others that have come through the Ajax. Ziyech, I don't know if Ziyech is from the academy, but I know he was there, of course. All of these sales of players generate huge sums of money for the football club and keep their heads above water. Dortmund acts in the same way. So all these, I'm not even going to be offensive, all these people, oh no, Dortmund aren't going to sell their best players. They literally do. It's how they operate as a business. They get the right money, but they always sell their players. It's how they operate. And it's why a lot of people talk about Ajax and Dortmund. Oh, I'd love to be as good as them. I would never want my football club to have their business model. Their business model is not to become the best team in Europe. It's to create brilliant young players who every now and then are going to go on really good runs in tournaments, but essentially it's to sell them all on to make money. They're never going to create. Like if you think over the last 10 years, if Ajax kept all their players, if Dortmund kept all their players, they'd have won Champions Leagues. But they don't. They can't. They actually couldn't. They can't keep hold of the players. Financially, they can't do it. So, yeah, never going to happen in that way. Let's do some more of your comments here. Grealish is a great player. Oh, where's that gone? Grealish is a great player. I'd take any of them. Yeah, listen, Luce, I'm with you on that one. If I would like both, if I'm being honest. And obviously, the news this morning about Angel Gomes not being close to signing a new deal. Maybe we are going to need both. It's as simple as that. But listen, Gomes going is going to anger some Man United fans, and fine. But you know what? If we keep progressing the way we are, no one's going to bat an eyelid. And in fact, if Gomes doesn't go on to do anything in his career, again, nobody's going to. Think about Man United's academy players we've let go. Barring Paul Pogba, who we then bought back, how many others have left us and you're sitting here now wishing we'd kept them? Don't try and throw for a second Gerard Piqué into this. We didn't lose him. He was desperate to go back and play in Spain, and Manchester United respected the fact that he wanted to go back and live in his motherland, and they allowed him to leave. It wasn't a case of we let him go because we didn't think he was good enough. It was something he desperately wanted. United didn't want to lose him. It's a very different situation. But aside from Pogba, who else have we lost that's gone on to be a superstar? The answer is nobody. So I'm not going to lose any sleep over Angel Gomes leaving, although I think he's highly talented. Let's see what happens. Because in 5 years' time, when he's playing for Real Zaragoza, or he's on the bench at Mönchengladbach, or he's in the championship, I wonder how many. By the way, if he's killing it, I'll say, damn, we should have broke the bank for him. I'm gutted he left. But the people that are crying about it, will they come out and admit they were wrong? I remember people screaming that we never used to give Nick Powell enough game time. I remember people screaming that Adnan Januzaj shouldn't be allowed to leave. He's too good. Oh, don't let Welbeck go. Welbeck's too good. Perspective needed. Yes, and I also know that Gerard Piqué wasn't I know we bought him at maybe 16, 17. So he wasn't quite the same as someone who'd come through 8, 9, 10 years at the academy. But my point is he played at that level for us. Gomes is going to play for Barcelona. Maybe he will, and maybe he's good enough to. And if he does, absolutely fair play to him, and then we've made a mistake. But as I say, I'm not going to judge the situation before I see what comes of it. I don't like losing players, but let's see what they go on to do. I give Chelsea fans an example. Pulisic's having a better season than Eden Hazard. Now, yes, you'd have loved to have kept Eden Hazard, but if Pulisic keeps improving the way he is, and Hazard keeps declining like he is, what great business for you. You got the best out of Hazard. He's gone elsewhere. Like I watched the Real Madrid game last night. God, he was awful. So right now, Chelsea have got the best deal out of it. Let's see what happens over the next 2 or 3 years. It might change, but judge things after the fact, as opposed to having an agenda against it the whole time. And by the way, one game, one Swift does not make a summer. Listen, I don't hope he flops. I don't want him to flop. I'm not cruel about somebody's career. I'm simply stating, let's not judge the situation until it comes to fruition. Let's not judge a situation. I'll give you an example. If this summer, inexplicably, we sold Pogba and Martial, there'd be uproar. But if between them leaving and our new replacement going, we went on to win the league, nobody would care. we only care about players leaving if we don't win at the end of it, or if we see a regression within our own team. Like, we literally couldn't care less when we're still winning. It's as simple as that. So we've lost out on a big one, Terry. Howson's been watching him for years. He has so much quality. And listen, I respect Howson's opinion on the academy. He watches a lot of United at that level, which I don't do. So I respect it. And I'm not saying it's a good thing he's leaving. My point is, I'm not going to get angry about something until I see how it comes, the fruition of it. I'm just not going to do it. I'm simply not going to get angry about it, frustrated about it, annoyed about it. It isn't going to happen. I'm not going to lose any sleep over it until I see how the player develops. If he goes on to be a star, great. If he goes on to be an average player, then what have we lost? If he goes on to be a flop, then it was the right decision. But the reason I don't lose any energy about it right now is because in 10 years' time, I wonder if any of these people moaning about it today are going to come back and apologize. Are they going to come back and apologize? I remember, because I'm older than a lot of you, I remember Man United fans angry and kicking off when United let Scholes, Kanchelskis, and Mark Hughes go to bring youth through. There was a lot of United fans that were angry, scathing, kicking off. It's wrong. The media condemned it. 10 years later, how many of those people apologized? Oh, we got that wrong, Very few. So I just don't have that energy for these kind of things. Low fat here says Hannibal looks like he's ready. Yeah, I've heard about this kid. Like, I've watched a few bits and pieces. He looks serious. He looks like a serious player. He really, really does. Lala says Curtis Jones over Gomes. Maybe. I'm happy for Gomes, though. Our club's a shambles anyway. I would have done the same, is what Abraham thinks. Fair enough. Damn it, Hakimi is signed for Inter for 40 million plus 5 million add-ons. Yeah, man, it's serious. I didn't see. This is the thing. I'd never professed to be a connoisseur of European football. I didn't realize he was on loan at Dortmund because I've never really been that interested in finding out. Interesting why Real Madrid don't want him though. After the season that he's had, he looks like a serious player. But Inter are developing a serious team again. Inter look like they want to generate a team again that's capable of winning Champions League, and they're really going for it. Cedric says, did you see how Pogba helped Bruno settle in? It's a slap in the face of the Pogba haters. Of course, Sid. Of course it is. But am I surprised Pogba did that? No. I know people that have had dealings with Paul Pogba on a commercial front. And he is a wonderful human being. Beautiful family, caring family, loving family. So, yeah, I'm not surprised. A comment here says, we've got Van der Beek. No, not yet. Transfer agreement is in place with Ajax and Van der Beek for him to leave this summer. It just comes down to the Man United reaching an agreement with Ajax. Of course, we have a wonderful relationship with Edwin van der Sar. I still think Real Madrid will come in. Remember, Real Madrid are leading the race. He wants to go Real Madrid. Man United have made inquiries. The only way he's coming to Man United is if Real Madrid don't come up with the readies and they don't pay for him. So there's still a chance. There's still a chance for Manchester United here. And it is a player that we have made inquiries about, so I think it's important to speak about it. Comment here says the recruitment setup was a lot better during that period you were referring to. Yeah, that's a good point. That is a good point. The But like I say, I will judge the outcome after the fact. I would judge it after the fact. And I'll give you an example of that. Look at Fred. Fred's turning his Man United career around. 7-8 months ago, we'd have said he was a flop at 50 mil. If he keeps performing at this level for the next 3 or 4 years, we'll then say, oh, it's money well spent. If Pogba, if we push on now as a team and start winning things again, no one's going to look at Pogba as a flop. You've got to remember that the media do this to us. They drag us into these conversations for about 2 years. Once, maybe twice a year, the newspapers used to run a Fergie's flop article. For 2 years running, Cristiano Ronaldo at £12.5 million was considered a one-trick pony flop. He would have been called that by people on social media had it existed then. Rival fans would have been saying one-trick pony flop Ronaldo, blah, blah, blah. In fact, they still used to post stuff about him. Doesn't score enough against the top, against the top side, doesn't do it in these games. He had the same treatment, and look how it turned out. So this energy has been around forever. I don't react to it. I don't get annoyed about it. I just wait until after the fact. Hindsight's very lucrative. Keep your powder dry. And the reason I say that is I'm the kind of person that admits when I get things wrong. Most other people don't in this space. So there we go. But listen, everyone who's tuned in this morning, thank you very, very much. As always, hit the like button, hit the share button. Please subscribe to the Football Terrace. Be amazing for us if you could do that. Van der Beek has a transfer agreement in place with Ajax to leave this summer. Could be big news for Man United if we pull this off, but it will be a tough signing to get confirmed. Until next time, take care. Goodbye. God bless. And we'll see you all again soon. Bye-bye.